Just do your thing and everything else gonna take care of itself. So I apply that to real life as well. Don't try to do everything. Don't try to rush the process, and definitely get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because if you stay inside your comfort zone, you're never gonna grow. I think I saw a video that said, like, if you keep a snake inside of a cage, it's only gonna grow to that size of the cage because it's in that environment. So you got to put yourself in, just like the snake, in different environments, bigger cages. You know, test your strength. But if it's never tested, your confidence not gonna grow. Within wrestling, your brand may not grow. So it's like you got to keep challenging yourself, keep reinventing yourself, keeping yourself on your toes, really keeping yourself uncomfortable so you know how to move. So
you already know when something about to make a big impact. It's what we used to. Wrestle. Yeah. Welcome to the table. Keep it locked in. Got some talent out this world about to drop in. And the story that we sharing about to shock them. And the level that I'm giving is a top 10. When you hear it's not a show where you get boxed in. Free to be authentic. Ain't nothing off limits. Paint the true picture, not somebody else's false image. Even when you low, it's what somebody else calls winning. Teasy got the table set. Whether it's someone you know that's famous or ain't made it yet. Recognize the power, check the numbers on the data set. Trying to find somebody else that's better, well, let's make a bet. That's a flow, just broke it down, I ain't even break a sweat. Welcome to the table. Welcome to the table. Welcome to the table. We just getting started, never done, never settle.
Yeah, we vibing, man. We vibing. We here in the studio, man, making these moves. What is good, everybody, to the next episode, episode 2 of Teasy's Table. I am your host, you know what I mean, the man, the myth, the legend, Monteasy, here in the building. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. I'm feeling good, looking good. I feel great. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man Jock, who got my hair right. You know what I'm saying? I got the hair right. For the ladies say they like it when the hair down, you feel me, with the dread tips. So you know what I'm saying? I had to go show some love there. Make sure you guys go to youtube.com if you're watching here right now. youtube.com/@Teasy's Table. If you don't put the @ symbol before Teasy's Table, you're not going to be able to find the page because a lot of people hit me up. Put the @ before Teasy's Table. youtube.com/@Teasy's Table. Once again, shout out to my man Josiah Williams, Russell and Flow, for the awesome theme song. That man is a legend. That man is a lyrical beast, one of the best theme song makers, Mr. WWE, one of the top guy who I call the Stone Cold of wrestling music. I call myself Flair. That is definitely the Stone Cold. Shout out to him, man. Love to you, brother. Thank you. Make sure you get that on all streaming platforms right now. The intro, Teasy's Table intro, Josiah Williams, and featuring Monteasy, which is basically the brand me. I'm not rapping, but you know what I mean. It's good. And also, too, before I get in my rant, I want to say that I hate Zoom interviews. And I am here live in studio giving you guys another podcast. And before I get to my wonderful guest, I want to say shout out to the No Gimmicks podcast, my man Kelvin. The information will be here. My brother Phil Bird, who is the engineer of this podcast. I want to give him a shout out, my man in the back working the cameras, because without him, this is not possible as well. Make sure you guys subscribe to the No Gimmicks podcast. Make sure you guys hit them up, all the guests, everybody. Shout out to Kelvin for your support and being the official sponsor of the Teasy's Table podcast. All our people got to look out for each other. All our black people got to look out for each other. Make sure you hit him up, show him love, follow him, subscribe to their channel as well. Now, this man I got on the couch next to me is not only a wrestler extraordinaire, not only is he the future, not only is he next, not only is he the jet, the vision, not only is he flyer than the rest of them, the future cut the check for him.
Cut the check.
Steady all ahead of him. This man here is one of my good friends in the game. Me and him have grown a great brotherhood. In this industry, it's very hard to find good people. You know, people that you connect with, people that you can just build. And it's not the industry talk. Like, when you're a rapper, and you in the club talking to another rapper, yeah, we need to link, we need to work. Nah, that shit ain't happening. So, you know, it is great to when you meet good people in the industry and it's not based on nothing. This man's been in my home. This man's met my grandma. This man is 8 with us. We watch wrestling together. we also have a great announcement coming at the end of this podcast, which I'm gonna save to the end. But make sure that you guys not only support this man. This man is also one of the best people that I know, and he only goes by Jet 2 Fly. He is the Jet Kevin Knight. What is good, my brother?
Man, what's up? I appreciate that introduction. I might need to bring you on for a manager opportunity or something. That was crazy.
Hey, man, you know what, brother? If you could get me out there to do a theme song performance for you,
let's do that.
That's one thing I ain't done yet is hit overseas. That's one thing on my bucket list is to hit overseas. So, whenever the universe calls for it, brother, that would be great. But let me get into the one question. Ask everybody that comes on this podcast. The one question that we don't get as entertainers.
For sure.
Not on Zoom interviews.
Can't do that.
That is the one question that we don't get as entertainers very much. How you doing, brother?
That's a crazy question because you really don't get asked that too many times. I'm doing all right. I'm holding up. I just coming back off of 2 tours in Japan. Just came back from Dallas yesterday from the New Japan Lone Star. So just been recovering. So just trying to keep my body, mental, spiritual, all aligned. So I'm cool.
So your match, I'm playing.
So we can talk about the match, to get the analyzing and everything.
So man, with you being who you are, an up and coming entertainer, a star, man, how important is your mental health with everything that you've been doing? Because you're a young guy, you're on your way up, but I know this is a lot to handle.
Right.
Coming from Japan, doing this yourself, being in Georgia, being all over the world, doing what you're doing. How is your mental health handling all this?
Man, the biggest thing I got to do is just staying positive through it all, because you may get ups and downs. You may get things from all over directions, different cultures, different languages, different mannerisms. So the biggest thing I could do is just stay positive through it all. Just whatever it may be, whatever challenges I come across, just be like, all right, I can make it through. A lot of things I just pour into myself. So I'm just keeping myself first, whether that's meditation-wise, keeping my hobbies up. I be skating and everything, be playing guitar. So I just be focused on myself, really.
So what was some of your mental challenges as in becoming an athlete, not only in just not essentially for what you do for a living, but just your mental? What were some of the things you have to overcome and had to get to the point where you're at now? Give us a story, something you've had to overcome.
Definitely overcoming that imposter syndrome. That syndrome, that little voice in your head that's telling you, oh, you shouldn't be here, you don't deserve this, that negative voice that everybody has. So just blocking him out and just always staying with okay, I'm here with the who's, with the what's of New Japan or Impact, and I'm just here right with them. And just how short my journey's been, just staying positive, just be like, hey, I'm here for a reason. Everything happened for a reason, so that's how I stay.
Absolutely. So let's take it back a little bit. Let's take it way back in the time. Right, shout out to Blackstreet. Back to the past. So, a young Kevin, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about what was some of your inspirations coming up, not just in your profession, but just in life. What was a young Kevin like a young kid? When what moms, pops were getting to the family thing. But what was a young Kevin like growing up? Man,
a young Kevin was real quiet, real shy, but very much observant, and I saw everything, and I took everything in. And whenever I was by myself, I just expressed everything about myself. Music was a big part of me. Dance, Jabberwockies, that was a big inspiration for me when I was young.
The break dancers?
With the break dancers.
Them boys bad.
Man, I used to be in the mirror and practicing my pop locking and everything, just like some way to express myself, just anything I could do. Jabberwockies was huge. Music, Guitar Hero was huge for me, just music-wise, just learning how to play a different instrument, whether I was through a video game or what. So many different things. Sports, just staying active. And just finding out what I like, what I don't like. And just a young Kevin was just, he could bright up a room with just his smile or just his laugh or something. But you'll never know he was there. So kind of translated to my adult life too.
Got you.
I'm here, there, everywhere, but I'm still a little, Jet 2 Fly on the wall.
So me and you a lot alike, in the sense that we're chameleons in a good way, not in a bad way. We both can adapt to the room that we're in.
You got to know how to move in a room full of
vultures, bro. You got to learn how to know. Shout out to Jay-Z. You got to know how to move in a room full of vultures. And one thing that I learned, especially being a young man, is how to be able to adapt to the situation I'm in.
100%.
You learn how to walk into a room and you see who the macho guys are.
Yep.
You see who the chill guys are. You see who the shy people are. And you kind of adapt to what the situation is. You also know when you walk in the room, you can still be the man because you cool with yourself.
Right.
But you ain't got to outwardly express it. You just cool. You the cool cat in the room. Right. And I noticed that about you because I'm the same way. Now, in school, were you there's different people in school. There's the gothic kids. There's the cool kids. There's the jocks.
Yeah.
There's the people kind of like me, where I kind of knew everybody.
Yeah.
I wasn't in one particular crowd. I knew the football players.
Yep.
I knew the guys that got all the girls. I knew the gothic kids. I knew the book smart kids that was kind of nerdy. Well, who were you in school?
I was right there with you, right there. I was in the middle. I knew the gothic kids. I can get along with the jocks because I was a football player myself. The party people was cool with me and all that. So I adapted up everybody, the nerds per se. I would talk to them about whatever. Cause I was always in the AP classes or some type of scholar classes or whatever. So I was in both. I knew how to talk to everybody. So I knew how to talk to the nerds, the jocks, everybody, whether it was music wise or just talking about clothes and anything. So anybody I talked to, just say what's up to them with a smile. Just be like, yeah, we cool. It wasn't no pressure or nothing.
Absolutely. So your football journey. So when did this start? What was your position? Give me the stats and please embellish it. If you ran for 200 and say you got 8, please say 800.
Look, I could tell you all the stats. If we had IG, TikTok back in 05, 06, I would have went viral every week.
No.
The Jet was out there putting numbers. 8 years old, 9 years old. Because my brother, he was a big football star too, so I had no choice but to follow in his footsteps. So everything he did, I did. So I played running back, a little bit of quarterback, safety, and everything. So first year I was trash. I ain't gonna lie. First year I was trash. I'm still learning the basics and everything.
Right.
But once I got the basics, I knew what I was doing. 10 touchdowns, 16 touchdowns, 21 touchdowns year by year. You know what I mean? And then make my way up to high school, college. Slowed down a little bit, but I went D2, played at Shorter University, and played DB and everything. But it was a great experience. We weren't the best, but sports teach you a lot.
It does, man. The one thing that I know that sports taught me, because I played, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I got a funny story about this too. So I played tight end.
Mm-hmm.
I played tight end, right guard, and right outside linebacker.
Okay.
So I don't know why they put me at lineman. I was really in shape then too, and I'm like, why am I right guard?
Come on now.
Why I'm so they put me at tight end, and I could not remember plays. The quarterback had to tell me what to do every time. I was not the X9 5 trigger Z5 Y7 on two third hut. I'm like, the quarterback be like, quarterback would be like post route. I'm like, okay, got you. You know what I mean? Now, mind you see how short I am.
Word.
They put me at corner.
Hey,
I was getting mossed, bro. Bro, it was bad. Yo, bro, I was getting mossed so bad. It was like, nah, we got to put you at linebacker. Linebacker was fun because all I had to do was read the gap, pause, and be able to just read the defense. So, what position did you play?
I played cornerback, safety.
Oh, you was all defense.
Yeah. Growing up, because I was just like you. I couldn't remember the plays once it got to that higher level. Red X, 89, on 2, and then we're going to hurry up with the number 2 on the wristband. I was like, that's too much for me. Just let me know where the play is, and I'll do the coverage,
Yeah.
So I always like playing free safety so I could see everything. So it was a whole different experience. You could feel the gaps, pause, come downhill. You know what I mean? So it's just feel that energy. Come down and stop the run or stay back deep when they throwing it. So
oh man, so you didn't know, you didn't care man coverage, zone coverage. You was like, look, I'm just gonna read. Whatever receiver closer to me getting it.
We wrecking it.
That's it.
Like Cam Chancellor type, Earl Thomas type.
Absolutely.
Throwback. I don't know the new people now, but them people my days.
Yeah, the Seahawks Legion of Boom days, stuff like that.
Richard Sherman, all of them guys.
So this is high school.
Yeah, high school going into college, 2013, 2014.
Now, I got to ask you this question. Being a football player, I know the ladies was pulling up.
Hey, that's another story for another day. They was there. they was there, but again, I was real shy back in the day. So if they ain't saying nothing to me, I ain't saying nothing to them.
Oh, you was focused on the task at hand.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
See, that's a good thing. That's a good thing that you had that level of focus.
Had to.
And I also believe, to bring it back to the point that being an athlete as you are now, which is what you do for a living, it shows a level of dedication and a level of focus. Being able to do football, to get into wrestling, to stay focused on your goals and your path. So as you grow up and you do football and you realize, okay, I did this for a period of time into my life, then you get obviously into wrestling. So I'm not talking just specifically about wrestling, but for you, when did you start making goals for yourself? When did you start saying, okay, this is what I want to do? I'm a goal-oriented person, because we've spoken off camera. We always, me and you are wired the same way about not being stagnant.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Where did that part in your spirit come from, learning not to be stagnant and being motivated and being a man of your purpose?
Man, that's a great question. I can't really tell you when it started. I know I've kept a journal since I was 18 years old. Just writing to myself, just what I want to do, what I did that day, and I always go back and read what I wrote to my 18-year-old self, my 19-year-old self, and I always just tell myself, just be more confident, believe in yourself, like whatever you want to do, you can do it. So I just know ever since that time, 18, 19, I'm 26 now, so just ever since then, always been creating those goals, trying to get better, still trying to get better. I'm a person that's never satisfied. That's a good thing and a bad thing, you know what I mean? I always got room for improvement. I may do things well. I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm not good at. And I'm always looking at what can I improve on? What's the next step?
Great analysis. Now, let me ask you this, though.
Yeah.
The adverse effect, the opposite of that. What's something about yourself that you need to improve on as a person that keeps you in that mode? What's something, I want to say a weakness, because if you're left-handed, you have a weak right hand, you can eventually get that right hand where it's at. So I'm not going to say weakness. I don't believe in that. Sure. But what is something in yourself that, maybe you feel like you're lacking that you could improve on? Like your jump shot, hey, I need to work on my mid-range game. What's something you could work on as a person?
I could definitely work on living in the moment, or just making the most out of interactions, whether that's networking purposes or just connecting with a person emotionally, intimacy, I guess. I've always been a standoffish type person, an introverted type person. So I'm just working on just becoming more comfortable with myself so I could be more comfortable with other people. And just when that happens, just more relationships develop a lot better. My college coach always used to tell us everything is about relationships. I never really understood what he meant back in the day, but as I get older, that's what everything really is. Just how you get a job, how you get a connection, how you get anything you want. It's all about your relationship with the person. So just working on just my interpersonal skills and just my confidence, always.
You know what's funny? You know what I learned about relationships? And just to shout out to Gillian Wallow, $1 million worth of game that I learned about relationships is that if you're just a good person and you offer a service first to people, you naturally can build a great working relationship and friendship and brotherhood, sisterhood with people.
So true.
Because you don't come out as you're using them for something. So true. People will volunteer to do things for you if you're just a good person. You treat them well. Hey, how you doing, bro? What's up, man? I'm just checking in on you. Then if something comes up and people will volunteer to help you in life, because it's a great thing. I'm gonna say this publicly. Phil, who's doing this editing for the podcast, he helped build my website, and he just did it on the strength because he believed in me, and he said, "Hey, I'm gonna help you build your website." Yeah, now Phil, Phil did that off the strength. I'm gonna shout people out who helped me.
Shout out Phil,
because people don't. A lot of people try to, people get favors and nobody wants to say anything or shout people. I always shout people out who helped me. He helped build my site. He helped build my YouTube, and he's taught me a lot of marketing things. So I'm always going to give flowers to people who helped me. So the great thing about it is a lot of times with building relationships with people, it's not nothing you have to force. It's just having a conversation. When me and you first met, we had a good conversation. Yeah, it was. You know what I mean? It wasn't music. We just, hey, bro, this is what I do. This is who I am. You checked it out. He was like, hey, I'm going to be in town. Hey, I could do a song for you. So see how it works. Our chemistry's always been natural. Yeah. But then as you build out of that, you kind of develop. I call it it's what's that word when you're
A rapport type of
extroverted loner.
Yes, 100%.
That's 100%. What it is. An extroverted loner.
Yep.
Where you can turn it on to build your relationships with people, learn when to turn that on. But you're a loner. But when you get in the house, you kind of turn it off.
Everything.
And you need like 2 days to yourself. You know what I mean? I do that. 100%. I'll be out here. I'll network my ass off. But then I take 2 days where I don't say shit.
At all.
You know what I mean?
It'd be not draining me, but it's like, man, I need to recharge.
It can be because you have to turn that on. And it takes a lot of networking, knowing how to talk to people. And you'll learn that over time. And I see you doing that now. And you're making bigger moves, watching your brand grow. You're kind of coming out of your shell with it. Yes, and you're doing a great job with that. So one thing I also want to bring up too with that is within your line of work and dealing with people, you know, how do you deal with people that maybe you don't favor? How do you deal with people that might not have your best interests at heart? How do you learn to deal with that?
That's a great question. Again, just dealing with people that you may not see eye to eye with. The biggest thing I do is just try to see what they want. Like you just said, if I can get them to see that my vision is going to get them to what they want, or just make them feel good about themselves, I just ask them, hey, how you doing? How's your day? Like, I become interested in them. Just try to make them feel comfortable, and just try to reach a mutual agreement, because we may not see eye to eye, but hey, we're here for work. We're trying to make some money. That's the end goal. So let's do this. You know what I mean? I don't ever bring any personal issues to work or anything. Just always strictly business. Always strictly business. So just always, hey, what can we do to make some money? I may not like you. You may not like me. We may not have nothing in common, but hey, we can work together. You might be real good at your job. I'm good at my job. So let's do this.
Absolutely. And that's a great thing you learn with the part of the relationships.
Yeah.
Is 100%. Learning how to deal with people. One thing I learned that the line of work that you do taught me, and me being an artist as well, and the entertainment business taught me, was learning how to work with people and network with people that I don't necessarily favor and still do great business. Right. It's a weird thing to do that.
It is. It's like it's not, you don't feel two-faced, but it's like, dang, you know, you just got to put that face on just to so we both win. It's always a win-win situation. You know? Absolutely.
It's a win-win situation, and it's something where I had to learn not to take it personal. And it's hard. It's very hard because your inner spirit wants you to just dead the situation. But for your career, for your well-being, sometimes you have to tap out of how you feel towards to getting the mission done.
Yes, sir.
And that's the one thing that I learned about being part of a team, right? And one thing you said about being an athlete, right? I learned when I first started as a musician, I was always the man. I was always the guy. I was head of the rap group. I was the guy who knew the music business. I was the leader. I was the leader. Then I got in other situations where I necessarily wasn't the guy in the situation.
And that's a different perspective.
It is a different perspective because you learn how to be a team player.
Right.
But I've gotten further by learning how to be a team player than trying to put everything on my shoulders. I learned how to delegate and realize certain people are in a situation. For example, you're an athlete. You got the size, you got the look. Okay, everybody in this car, this is the guy we putting the money on. You know what I mean? This is the guy putting the money on. He got the look, he got the connects, he got the size, he tall, he got it.
Hey, trying to.
So let's put the money behind him. Let's make sure he good, make sure he rested. And then your opportunities brand everybody else's opportunities.
Right. Everybody eats.
Everybody eats. Because with you being the flagship and putting the money behind you, you're able to spread the wealth. So let me ask you this question. Who are, if shout out to family members or anybody like that, who are some of the people in your life that has motivated you, that motivates you? Any friends, family, give a shout out to those people that motivates you, that helps you with the relationships you've built. Anybody you want to shout out?
Man, it's a lot of people, to be honest. Friends back home. Shout out to my boy George. He always makes something happen. He did a whole year. He quit his job. He sold his house and did a whole year of just traveling traveled the world, hit every country, like 50 different countries, like a year, and came back home, restarted his whole life, got on an Uber, started studying for his tests and everything, and now got a whole new 6-figure job within 1 year because he told me his vision a whole year ago, and then now I'm seeing the fruits of his labor. So it's like seeing him being able to do that, restart his whole life, and just still be successful and positive in everything he does. That's one person in my personal life. Shout out George. And, man, a lot of people in wrestling. Shout out to Leo Rush, Chris Bay, Swerve. So many talented people that are not just great wrestlers. They're so talented in other aspects. Chris be skateboarding all the time. They got their music and everything going on. And their fathers and everything as well. So just seeing how they're able to be so talented in this profession and still do so many other things at a high level is like, man, there's so much more I could be doing. Like, there's such an inspiration, like, to see of they're really just doing everything they want to do. So them just doing their thing in the music and acting or whatever it may be just inspires me to just be like, hey, there's no limits to anything you want to do. You can always strive to do so many different things. So I feel like in wrestling, they want you to just be, a lot of people just want to see you just as a wrestler. But again, Leo, Swerve, Chris, they open up those doors just to, like, you could be so much more, and it's only going to add to your profile. So seeing that firsthand especially is amazing.
You know, we had a lot of talks off camera, and I remember we was talking about, like, hey, man, find those things that you could do outside of the wrestling industry, because
100.
it's changing now.
It is.
And the world is kind of changing. You have to be more multifaceted now.
You have to.
Instead of just being like doing one thing.
Everybody can wrestle now.
Everybody can wrestle. Everybody can wrestle. There's a lot of people that just rap now. A lot of people can be lyrically pull out a good song, but it's like, okay, what else about you? So if you could do 2 or 3 things very well,
yep,
you can get a lot further in the world. You have to be a multitasker in today's world.
Have to
make it. You know, in order to survive, because the climate of the industry changed. People want to see different parts of your personality.
Yeah,
they don't want to see just one thing.
That's so true.
They want to see multiple parts of who you are, because we're all multifaceted people. And with the way the world is now, everybody wants to see different parts of your personality.
Yep.
So your music might be your more aggressive side. Your wrestler might be your more smooth side.
Yeah.
Your podcast might be your more conceptual side.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It just depends on who you are. So, speaking of music, you say you play guitar.
I just started. I listened to a lot of music growing up, and rock music. I played Guitar Hero 2 and 3. Those stuck with me in my childhood. And my uncle getting a guitar for like my 12th birthday or something. I might have played that guitar maybe 5-6 times this whole time. But recently I just started picking it back up, and man, just fell in love with it. Learning the chords, learning the basic intricacies of it, and just being able to produce my own music. I'm like, dang, this is crazy. So soon, once I get good enough, I might have to step in there with you. Do something.
Yeah, bro. And you know what? You know what, bro? It's different because you'll be playing an instrument. That's different, bro.
Yeah.
I've yet to see a wrestler just come out with a guitar and just start hitting Jimi Hendrix on their ass.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And nothing wrong with doing like the hip hop stuff, whatever's in your spirit. But that's a whole different lane, because nobody's doing that.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Nobody's out there just playing guitar. You could just Instagram, reel your TikTok yourself, just playing your favorite joints or whatever you wrote.
Right.
You know what I mean? And take that to a whole nother level, because nobody's doing it.
Yeah.
Then you could play strings on people's stuff.
True.
You in a different lane with that.
Yeah, because music's been a big part of my life. I played in the orchestra when I was younger. I played violin. So just getting back into it, it's just like, man, I'm hearing everything in the music scale. I'm hearing scales. I'm knowing the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, tees, everything. Like, it's crazy.
Oh, wow. Who's some of your music inspirations growing up?
Inspirations growing up.
And now, like for you obviously know sounds. So
it's so many people in there. Big shout out to Cameron, Dipset, 50 Cent. When I moved down south, heard nothing but Outkast, Lil Jon, D4L. I lived in the West Coast for a little bit, and I'm listening to all the new West Coast people. I don't know if you know Bino Rideau, G Perico. It's so many people out there. The whole West Coast sound is so different. Like, and the way they dance to it is my favorite part. So just seeing how people interact with different types of music is my favorite thing. So, man, I just love music. It's a big part of me.
Absolutely. So give me some of your I'm gonna ask you this then. I'm gonna cut this to this point. And I know I asked you this, and I'm gonna ask you this in another way.
Yeah.
What are some of your go-to projects? What are some of your go-to albums? What are some of your go-to albums? Like, give me this. I'm asking you a 2-part question this way. When you're getting in that mode, when you about to do your thing live in front of an audience, what you listen to, and then when you in the crib, what you just bumping regularly. Give me those 2 different perspectives.
When I'm getting in that mode, I gotta hear some 50, some G Unit, some Get Rich or Die Trying. Might throw some Missy Elliott on there too, because she's so different. Like, I just like the way she vibed to her music, her visuals and all that. But definitely some 50 Cent, some Cameron. Get me right in that mode. But in the house chilling, I'll listen to anything. I'll listen to some rock music, to some Jill Scott, some Badu, Earth, Wind and Fire. I listen to what's her name, Snow Allegra, Sade, anybody. Jay-Z, Biggie, those are the basics, you know what I mean? But you got to listen to plethora of everybody. Just being there chilling.
And that's why you are who you are and you're successful.
Facts.
Because you don't, once again, you don't stick to one thing.
Yeah.
I was raised the same way. My mom's was playing Dave Matthews Band and Red Hot Chili Peppers in the house. Grandma was playing Marvin Gaye and Bobby Womack and Sade.
Right.
Like, so I've always had different vessels of who Antoine is, you know. And when you said that at your musical knowledge, I see you grew up the same way.
Facts.
So growing up, let's talk about growing up in that sense. You know, moms. You know what I mean? Shout out to Mama Knight. You know what I mean?
Shout out to my mom.
Shout out to moms. You know what I mean? Tell me a little bit about your relationship with your moms. How has she inspired you? Tell me a little bit about moms and your family. Talk about moms a bit.
One thing about my mom, she don't care what nobody says. She don't care what nobody thinks. She just gonna go out there and do her at all times. So just seeing her and just how she operates is so, like, as a kid, I thought it was kind of embarrassing, you know what I mean? She's always just not following the rules or whatever it may be. Like, at a banquet, they would tell her, hey, no clapping until the end of the segment or whatever. As soon as they say Kevin Knight, woo! You know what I mean? She gonna do exactly what she want to do. So I just love her spirit. She gonna do what she want to do. That's all I can say. And she's, 57 now? She's in better shape than me. I be trying to keep up with her in the gym.
Wow.
So she's a great inspiration in that aspect, just because she never has any type of excuse. Every morning she's up 5 a.m., hitting the gym, in there for a few hours. She's training people too on the side. So she's always had a hustle. She's always supported me, always let me know I could do anything I want to do. I didn't believe her at the time, but just looking back on it, she's always had my back, always, 100%.
That's a great relationship to have, man. Yeah. So you guys have always been close.
We haven't always been the closest, because it's a, parent type of thing. Just in the way that I receive information is the different way in which she gives information. Just, I have 2 other brothers too, and just the way she communicates to everybody. I've always been the problem child. I like to argue. You the youngest? I'm the middle child.
Figures. Yeah, figures. Okay.
Yeah, I'm the middle child. So, like, anything she said, I'll be like, why? I will always ask her why, or just question her authority, and she didn't like that. So I may have been right at the time, but it doesn't mean anything, because I'm still the child. So just, I've always had that mentality of always questioning stuff, and just, we always butt heads, but we always, get along at the end of the day.
That's what's up. Like, you learn that. Like, that's one thing I learned. I'm the oldest, so I always felt like I had the most pressure on me, because I was the start.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? True. I was like the lead example. And I'm like, it's funny, when you feel like you're the oldest, you're the child where your parents make the most mistakes, because you're the first child.
Right.
So you try everything out.
Just be trying shit.
The discipline, the way stuff happened. Not nothing bad happened to me, but just that's that first experience.
Yeah.
Then when the second and third child come, they kind of figure it out. You know what I mean? And then, hold on, I used to get whippings for this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I be looking at my little brother like, come on now, Mom. Like, nah, it's different for the youngest. They get everything they want. They the baby.
Yeah, absolutely. They're the ones who are the oldest and the middle child. I was like, wow, look at this, Mom.
Really,
Mom,
Mom?
we didn't get this, bro. Like, we didn't get, that's. It's funny how that dynamic kind of changes.
Yeah.
But when you get older, you understand. Even if you don't have kids, you kind of understand it as you start becoming a functional adult. So, So you told me, off camera, I don't mind just bringing this up, but you said that you lost your father.
Yeah, at a young age.
And what happened? If you don't mind talking about it, what happened?
It happened around Thanksgiving time, actually, 2008, and just received a call, or the police came and knocked on our door, just let us know. We received a call from his neighbors that because he still lived in New York at the time, and we were down in Georgia. Just got the news that he just died. My mom didn't give me the details at the time, but at the time I already knew what happened. He had committed suicide and everything, shot himself. But at that time, it was hard to process that information because as a kid, you don't know what your parents are going through. They're a person, they going through stuff. So my kid brain, I'm over here thinking it's my fault. Like, oh, he just did it because he didn't want to be around me or something like that. So it's like just having to internalize and deal with that as you get older. It's been such a journey. And just, as you get older and mature, you learn that your parents are humans too. And you just put yourself in their shoes and be like, oh, he might have had something going on, a mental health or anything, So it's just like a closure type of thing, and not putting that pressure on myself, because for so long I dealt with depression or just mental health in that aspect, dealing with my father's loss. And just as I learned more about him and just being a human overall, I'm just like, I can't put that blame on myself. He didn't do that to get away from me. So that's helped me a lot grow just as a person. So that's been such a journey. You know what I mean?
Thank you for sharing that.
No problem.
Here's my follow-up to that. With you losing your father, rest in peace, at such a early age.
Yeah, I was 11 going on 12.
That's man.
Right,
wow.
When I'm trying to learn about girls, right when I'm trying to learn about how to be a man.
That's what I'm getting to.
Yeah.
Was there, did you have to learn how to be a man yourself?
Oh, most definitely. From age 11 to now, basically raised myself or done all type of research myself, or just like using my brother as a reference. My older brother, he's like 5-6 years older than me, but he doesn't tell me everything, so I just have to watch and learn. A lot of things I just watched and learned and just see how they did it, trial and error. And that comes with a lot of BS and all that, too, because when you have a dad, you can see how he operates with your mom, or like see how they go about with day-to-day functions. But when they pass, that just goes away. And nobody ever prepares you for death. Just that person no longer there. So it's like you went from having him, take care of you and your mom and all that, to just now, because my older brother and my dad passed in the same year. So it went from being 5 people in the house to just 3. So I ended up having to be the youngest, or the man of the house.
You lost your brother age. Too?
Yeah. I mean, he was in college. We would see him like every summer and everything, but I was the main person in the house. So it's like I had to raise my little brother, and my mom's working her jobs and everything. So it was like definitely you good. Definitely an adjustment. And those type of things, you learn a lot about yourself. You have to grow up quick. You can't complain as much, because if you complain, nothing's gonna get done. So I just had to just take it to the chin and just always had that mentality of I'm gonna do something. You know what I mean? So just taking things to my own hands.
That's deep, man. It's funny. Becoming a man, you feel like it's instinctually in us to feel like we're under pressure.
All the time.
And you, in a weird way, you learn this because, especially us who grow up with our moms.
Yeah.
And you don't know a lot of times how relationships work. Because you don't see nobody loving your mom like that.
Yep.
As a man. So a lot of times when you get in these relationships or you deal with women, you kind of just go with, which is one of the most dangerous things you could do, is treating women how society treats them.
Right.
And in your own way. And you could just go from what TV says or what YouTube says, movies, and you don't grow up with that initial household of seeing a man loving a woman, and how a man treats a woman, and how a woman treats a man, and how that dynamic can help your growing up process.
Yep.
So with him being gone, my mom was never married. My mom was in relationships, but she didn't necessarily have the most positive influence with the man she was with.
Yeah.
So I didn't really get that understanding of how to treat women.
I completely understand.
And it's tough.
Yeah, you can only learn from what you just said. The media, and then the music is the worst part, you know what I mean? And grew up listening to Dipset, Lil Wayne, and da-da-da-da-da. So how can we learn how to treat a woman from what they be saying and stuff? So it's like, and you learn through trial and error, wasting a lot of time through experience. Experience is the best teacher.
Absolutely, and that comes with a lot of pain.
So much.
It comes with a lot of heartbreak.
Man.
It comes, because I was in 2 long-term relationships, and I've been single since because I didn't want to deal with heartbreak again.
Man, when Take Care came out, I was maybe like 14, 15. That still stuck with me. Like, just how everything he was talking about in that whole album. I'm like, man, that's what I was going through in middle school. It's so crazy.
Yeah, bro. It's so. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you a worldwide question. You as a single man, where do you think it has become for men and women in the dating world? Do you feel like it's tough for you? Do you feel like it's kind of, and now in society in general, do you feel like roles have changed? As a man, how do you feel like it's been in society today with that?
I think it's been an attack on relationships lately. And it's been a process throughout the whole last 20, 30 years to separate families and men and women against each other, pitting us against each other. Because when you look at social media or just the way society works, they're trying to have us compete against each other instead of working with each other.
Absolutely.
Like a yin and yang type of thing. Like, men and women definitely need each other to work. Like, we're good at some things that they're not. They're good at some things that we're not good at. So it's like, just need to accept those differences and stop trying to one-up each other or compete with each other. I feel like that's the biggest thing around in the dating world. Everybody's trying to get one over. You know what I mean? Or be selfish. Selfishness is a killer. And non-communication. There's so many different things. But I feel like that's the biggest thing, is just we need to stop trying to compete with each other and just realize that we are different and that we do need each other. Like, it's simple. 1 + 1 is 2.
Amen, brother. Great. Guys, for y'all at YouTube and following this right now, your IG Reels, this man just dropped some real game right there. Because this is real facts on what he's saying. And it's like, with the way society is, we definitely need that. They need that to change. So now with you being in the world, and you not only being in the dating world, but you being an athlete and you being a star that has exposure, talk about where it is now compared to back then, in the sense of Kevin Knight being comfortable with who he is. Do you feel like now in the sense of who you are, now you have exposure, you've been on TV, you travel the world each and every month, you're out of here, you're all over the world. Now Kevin, the football player, is different from the Jet Kevin Knight. It's almost, it's becoming a whole new extension of who you are. Do you feel comfortable now with it? Do you feel comfortable now in your spirit as it's growing?
I feel like you know them those superhero movies where the superhero is just now realizing their powers. They're not trying to shy away from it. At first they were scared of their power, but they're trying to learn and see how to use their powers or whatever. I feel like that's where I'm at in my part of the movie. I'm just like, oh dang, I didn't know I could do this. Oh, I didn't know I could do this, because I felt so I will always down myself, but now I'm believing in myself, becoming more comfortable in my own skin. So it's like, oh, I could do this, I could do that. How do I handle this? How do I harness my own power? So I'm just in the process of seeing when's too much, when's too little, when should I speak up, when should I, everything's about timing. So that's where I'm at in my career of the difference of Kevin, the football player, and Kevin, the Jet Knight, you know what I mean? So, and people in my personal life could tell you too, like, I'm completely different than how I was in high school. And I'm not even completely different. I'm just expressing how I truly am, because I was super shy back then. I didn't know who I was. I was lost. I wasn't confident in who I was. But now I'm just like, okay, this is me, just accepting who I am. And I feel like I give off a great aura, positive energy, and it's a whole different just animal of who I am now. And I'm only getting better.
Absolutely. You're only getting better. You're only building. You're now hitting those next building blocks to becoming not only a great entertainer, but a great person.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? You know, one thing I know about you from our time hanging out together and talking the way we have is that you have a great personality, but you're also a good person. And you can read that energy with people.
Got to.
You know, reading energy, people knowing that You know, you could be a great person, look out for other people, help each other out, build. So, also too, I want to get into this quick announcement. I'm gonna introduce it later, but me and my brother shot a music video to his theme song, the Gent Kevin Knight 2 Fly edition, which is on all distributed platforms right now. You know what I mean? Make sure you guys subscribe to the Spotify, the YouTube. It'll be debuting at the end of this podcast. I'll introduce that later in the show. But talk about that experience, man. We shot a music video. You shot your first music video. We went out to my man Shawty T. We went to his studio.
Shout out.
And we had a good time, man. Talk about that experience and getting out of your shell, shooting that music video.
Man, getting out the shell, just having that whole experience of being in front of the camera. I'm over here thinking it's gonna be a 2-day shoot. I gotta bring some snacks. I'm on my Missy Elliott type thing. We gotta get this angle. Okay, I gotta bring this costume for this angle, like different scenarios and all type of things. That's what I'm thinking, because that's the type of stuff I grew up watching. And then just coming in and you told me, oh, it's gonna take about an hour, 2 hours. I was like, ain't no way. We gotta shoot, you know. I'm trying to make a Busta Rhymes type vibe, you know what I mean?
And we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll definitely get there. And I'm so much looking forward to it. But after we shot that video and saw the editing and all of that, I'm just like, that's me. That's Kevin Knight right there. Like, it was cool seeing me in a whole different light, because I've only seen myself in this New Japan, you know, type of lens, and then just seeing me in the aspect of the music realm and just feeding off your energy, and just, you went crazy on the verse anyway.
Thank you, bro.
I'll be out there vibing every time I come out there too. So I really be like feeling the music. So I feel like that's so important in the wrestling business. Music is, it's what ties you to the character. It's not just about the moves or the attire. Gotta have a good vibe too.
Absolutely. I didn't realize until I started making these songs how important it was
for
people's brands, and how that really connects the audience to who the person is.
Yeah.
Because at the time, I was just doing songs years ago. And I didn't realize how important it was until you hear that first drop or that first intro, and then you hear the crowd reaction like, yo, this is very important.
It really is.
This is very, very important to what you guys do.
It is. Everybody there's going to be somebody in that crowd or somebody watching at home that's never seen you before. They might have to take a piss break or something, but as soon as that music hits, as soon as they see you come out, they got to make that good first impression to make them hold that, or to make them watch you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
A lot of my favorite wrestlers, they just got a good entrance. I just like their energy. You know what I mean? That's what I like with pro wrestling. You got to have a good look. Got to. So
absolutely, and that's a very important thing for your brand,
yeah,
and branding and understanding that. So, you know, we shot the music video. We had a great experience shooting that, and that gave you the confidence to be like, oh, I can really step up and really do different things, and really take this to another level in what I want to do, and understanding, saying, okay, cool, I get to see who I am outside of what I think this is, and outside of wrestling. And I really am somebody, I'm a star outside of it.
Right.
And people don't realize something. The more successful you become, the more you fight narratives. And what I mean by that is, when you become more successful, there's certain narratives that gets put on you.
Okay.
Me, I'm the wrestling theme guy.
Okay.
So that's all people think that I can do. Right, but when they hear Miles, they're like, yo, Teasy really be flowing, bro. I did that before I did the wrestling theme stuff.
Yeah.
This is just a part of who I am, but it's not all of who you are. But the way that the not just wrestling industry, but the way the world is, when they see you one way, that narrative paints you as that one way. So and true. Us, when we become more successful in one thing that we might do, you wrestling, me music, we end up fighting to prove people, to prove to people that that's not just the narrative of who we are, because they paint you in a box.
That's true. And just like you said earlier, like, people are multifaceted, multi-talented individuals, and putting them in the box is so, it's so unfair to that person, because we're all talented. We could do, me in the wrestling ring is completely different from me just in my home, just chilling, or just me at the skating rink, or me at a football game or something. Just the same with you. Like, you in the studio is way different than you backstage at a wrestling show. Is you chilling at a concert. Like, it's way different scenarios, and fans themselves, they need to realize that too. Like, they're different in a way too. You're not just one person. Like, it's we're all so different. we're all so different. We're all connecting so many different ways. So I feel like putting people in the box is so unfair. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you some quick fire questions.
Okay.
Now the way that I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna ask you some different questions, and the first ones are gonna be more deep introspective, and then the other ones are gonna be multiple choice, and I'll lead to the multiple choice towards the end, right?
I feel like the SAT or something.
Yes, this is fun. I like to get people, see where people's minds are.
Okay.
First question: if there's anything you could change about the world, what would it be?
Homelessness, world hunger. I feel like that everybody should have their basic needs at least met. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, you should at least have a shelter over your head and have food to eat. Everything else, is up for grabs. But homelessness, I hate seeing that. I always want to know what their story is or what got them there, because they weren't born homeless, or I hope they weren't, you know what I mean? So it's I'm always interested in see just their journey, because that I feel like that shouldn't happen, especially in our world. We got too much money in the world for people to be homeless.
Wow, that's unique, brother.
Yeah, 100.
That's a unique answer. You know what I mean? That's definitely a unique answer. Shout out to that. That shows that not only have a good heart, but it's definitely an understanding on how the world is right now. If you were in trouble and your life depended on it, and if this person doesn't answer the phone, then you'll be in serious trouble. Let's just say that. So if you're in serious trouble and you pick up the phone, you got one phone call, who is going to pick up that phone?
Who I know going to pick up the phone?
Automatically. They're going to pick up that phone when you call. You got one phone call. Who going to pick up that phone?
Oh, definitely my mom. She definitely going to be by her phone. She on Facebook, she on Instagram all day. So I know I'm going to catch her in the middle of scrolling, whether it's 2 a.m., whether it's 12 p.m., whether she in the middle of the gym session, she going to pick up that phone. So I definitely call my mom anytime.
Call your moms. Okay.
Shout out.
Shout out to Mama Night, man. Okay. Now, I usually say the bring one album thing on the beach, but I'm going to switch this up. We're going to have a little fun with this one. Right. Let me switch this up on you. You get a vacation. You're on a vacation. You get a 3-day vacation paid for, but you can only bring one dream girl. Who's that dream woman?
I can only bring one dream girl. See, that's tough because I may not know their personality, but their looks might be there. You know what I mean? Because I'm over here thinking, I'm running through my mind like Paula Patton, Halle Berry, like a Ashanti type. You know what I mean?
Ooh, shout out to Nelly.
Shout out.
Spent the block. I've never seen Nelly smile so much in my life. That
he
woman,
out there cheesing. You can see his gums and everything.
Everything.
He living his best life.
He got that old thing back, and I ain't mad at him.
I ain't mad at all.
So who would you pick?
Just based off of looks, just based off of what I know, I might have to borrow Ashanti real quick from him, Nelly. So I'm gonna take Ashanti. I like the older women anyway. They age like fine wine.
Yes,
so,
sir. Talk that texture. Talk that texture. I'm the same way, brother.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
the same
they
way.
Fix you a little something to eat too. Make sure your stomach is good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
I might have to do that. We can go somewhere where it's warm, Punta Cana. You know what I mean? Somewhere in the Caribbean.
Ooh.
Yeah. Gotta be warm.
You gonna take Ashanti out there?
She gonna take me out there.
She got it, right?
She got it. I'm just there for the looks, for the pictures.
Absolutely. I'm there to play my role like Denzel.
Hey, look, I listen to The Rock. I know my role. I'm going to shut my mouth. You know what I mean?
Amen. Amen, brother. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Another few questions here, right? So, if you had your dream collab as you playing the guitar for somebody's track, who you playing guitar for?
I gotta play with Rage Against the Machines. That's my #1 band.
Bulls on Parade.
Killing in the Name.
Yes, sir.
Everything. They meant so much to my childhood just because they were so anti against everything. And as a kid, I didn't understand how this society works. And I was like, I knew something was off, and then their music just kind of spoke to me. I was like, I understand. And I was so young, maybe like 9, 10 years old. So got to get to play with my boy Tom Morello, Zach De La Rocha. who are some other hip hop? I got to play with UGK too because they got a lot of good guitar riffs.
Shout out to Pimp C and Bun B.
Shout outs to them. UGK and Rage Against the Machines.
Wow, that's see, you're very diverse, brother. very diverse in your music selections, right?
Yes, sir.
What is a hobby that you haven't picked up that you want to do? That's on your bucket list of life.
Man, that's another great question. I feel like there's so many. I think I want to create art, like painting or drawing or something like that, because I was never good at it. And I know nowadays you can learn anything. It's on YouTube University. You can go anywhere and just learn we're watching a few videos. So I try to learn how to paint, how to draw, just so I could just put whatever is in my mind on the paper, because I'm bad at that. I can't draw to save my life. So if I can learn how to draw, that would be ideal. That'd be ideal. And I definitely haven't tapped into that. So yeah.
Your artistry is probably more expressive in your because some people's artistry is more outwardly like music,
right,
instead of internally, which is drawing. But it's still creative. But it's just some are more expressive and more of an instrument, as it's some internal, more drawing. So, you know, that's just true. That just works another part of your brain.
True.
You know what I mean? Creatively, it works another part of your brain. So here's another one. You're now at your career goal of who you are at your peak. What is that one goal that you've had that you have to obtain? When people say, "Hey, I did it. I'm at peace with life. I did everything I wanted to do." What's that one goal that make you at peace in life with either your career or as a person? What's that one career goal you have to obtain to be happy, to have mental peace?
Man, I feel like I've already achieved that goal, to be honest. I've won a championship in a major company such as New Japan. Earlier this year, me and Kushida won the IWGP tag titles. So the next step is to win a singles title. You know, getting at the junior heavyweight tag, not the junior heavyweight, but the IWGP heavyweight champion, or the never openweight championship, or the IWGP US championship. Anything is in my realm. I have no limits on myself. So a singles title, that's the next thing up on the list. So any one of them title holders, I'm coming for it. Ain't nobody safe.
That's what I'm talking about. Ain't nobody safe. It ain't safe no more. It ain't safe. It ain't safe no more. It ain't safe no more. Wow. Okay, my brother. I feel you, and you'll get there.
Oh yeah,
and it's gonna happen.
I trust the process 100%.
Absolutely, you gotta trust the process and let it cook.
Yeah.
The one thing that I learned about success is some people grind 24/7. They work themselves to the bone.
Right.
Tracy Morgan said a great thing on the Breakfast Club interview. He said it takes him years for moves to be made. Certain moves take years. Certain stuff you got to grind for to get it. Certain stuff you got to put in the universe and just go for it. It'll come to you later.
Right.
You ain't forget about it. But you got to let the universe cook.
Right.
Especially when you want these big ass goals. You want to be a millionaire, but you want it to come tomorrow.
You got to put it in the
scratching a lottery ticket and getting $1 million is very rare. You got to get struck in the same place with lightning like 3 times for that to happen for a lot of people. Very few people can scratch a ticket and become a millionaire tomorrow. But some goals, man,
put it in the crock pot, let it simmer.
Let it simmer. Come back to it.
Yeah.
Let it cook. You know what I mean? And that's one thing that I learned about success. So you'll definitely get there. And I look forward to us building our brotherhood.
Definitely will.
And watching you excel to even more and higher levels, so we can talk about, like, see, we told y'all asses. Then we do the next podcast. We told y'all MF is what we was doing.
Come on now.
You know what I mean? Let's have some fun multiple choice questions here.
Okay.
Usher or Chris Brown?
I got to go with Usher. OG. You know, OG. Chris Brown, mad talented. Don't get me wrong, mad talented. He could do anything under the sun. But Usher, nah, he could do everything. And he be skating too. Fellow skater. Yeah. My boy Usher be doing his thing.
Okay. Usher and R. Kelly, same girl, or The Boy Is Mine by Monica and Brandy. Which song?
Just off of principle, I'm going to go with the Monica joint. Just that's a classic. Nah, I'm gonna just leave it at that. It's a classic.
The best Rhapsody freestyle.
I'm about to go with either Cameron joint.
Counting the money?
Yeah, he was counting money with the do-rag, or the one of Lil Wayne's joints. I forgot what he said on there, but it's a Cameron and Lil Wayne joint. So one of them two is a toss-up. Cameron, he one of the OGs, so I got to go with the Dipset.
Yeah. I miss them days. I used to,
I wish I got to experience it more, because by the time I was old enough to understand everything, it was gone. You know,
bro.
what I mean?
Let me tell you something. I'm a 35-year-old man.
Yeah.
When I was a freshman in high school when Get Rich or Die Trying came out,
Man,
brother, you do not understand. When In the Club dropped, it took over the whole world. I was 14 years old when that song dropped.
Yeah.
It took over the country. I have not seen, I still to this day, I'm looking at the camera.
Mm-hmm.
I have not to this day seen a craze like when 50 Cent first came out. I've seen a lot of people come after. You've had your Kendricks, you've had your Coles. But when that man dropped, it was pandemonium.
I believe it.
When 50 Cent first came out. And that era with the G Units and Rockefeller, and you had Jay-Z,
D-Block.
you had Nas, you had D-Block, you had Ludacris, Afro Ludacris, you had T.I., you had Young T.I., Getting in Trouble T.I., I Don't Care T.I., you had
Outkast.
You had Outkast still with Stank On Your days.
Yep.
You had Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. You had Crunk Music. You had Bone Thugs and Harmony still. You had The Game. You had Exhibit. You had Dr. Dre. You had Eminem. What a prime time in life, man, to be a hip hop fan. Everybody was fire.
Different.
Everybody was different. Nobody was biting each other.
Right.
Everybody was fire.
That was a crazy time to live through. And like you said with the In the Club thing, I remember specifically, I was 6 years old. My older brother around your age playing that song nonstop. So I'm 6 years old singing, "You can find me in the club, bottle full of bud." I'm like, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Bro,
so,
that song took over the world. Obviously, you were singing it.
Yeah, 6 years old.
And you were singing it.
Yeah.
Crazy. Took over the whole landscape. Get Rich or Die Trying took over I know that album front to back.
No skips.
No skips.
No skips.
You know what I mean? A couple more multiple choice questions here. Are you more of a person that favors, when it comes to a woman?
Okay.
This is a good. I got to ask this question.
Okay.
Because we're men here. We having men talk.
Mm-hmm.
Are you more of a woman that is more traditional in the sense of the home cooking, home cleaning, old school type, or you're more into the what we call alternative?
Okay.
Which is more the hard-working woman, on her grind, got 2 jobs type. Are you the type to bring home the bacon to the woman type, or you want a woman out there on her grind, hustling 50-50 on the bills type thing? What you feel?
You could have asked me this question years ago, and then today would be 2 completely different answers, because back then I would have definitely gave you the hard-working, I need my girl to have her own, da-da-da-da-da type thing. But, as you grow, this comes from the dad thing. I too feel like growing up, just relationships, just people have their roles. People have their roles, and I feel like it works better. I shouldn't say it works better, but I would like to provide and everything for my family. So I wouldn't even want my girl to work or be grinding, all that type of thing. She don't have a work husband anyway. So I want her to be at the house. I want her to be my work wife. Like, I want her at the house taking care of everything, take care of the kids, everything, because I'm going to take care of everything financially. So she just need to, we just both need to know our roles, shut our mouths, and do our thing, work as a team. I feel like that's the biggest thing, just work as a team. I take care of this, she take care of that. Boom, everything 100%. I don't want to be 50-50 on bills. I don't want to do all of that other stuff where she got to feel like she got to work, because that's going to take away from the relationship and the house. So if that's taking away from the relationship and the house, that's taking away from me. I won't be able to
other
focus.
Stuff too. We ain't going to say it, but
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
100%, So with that being taken in the fact that I'd rather take care of everything, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
You know what's funny, bro? You know what's hilarious? It's funny to me because when I was younger, it was kind of the same thing.
Yep.
Oh, man, we gotta, you know, we got to do this, and I need her to do this and that. And then as I get older and I become more successful and I start seeing different aspects of women, I respect a woman who want to hustle on her grind, but
yeah, of course.
I really would enjoy just coming home. She there, the kids there. You want to work on something at home, fine.
Yeah, have your own business.
Go to the gym.
Yeah.
Do your thing. Stay, do your thing.
Yes.
Have hobbies, you want to do that, but it makes things easier.
100%.
It makes things easier. Now, for the people that like the 50-50 thing and that works, that dynamic is them.
You do what works for you.
Hey, you like it, I love it. If it works for you guys, that's great. And that's how your dynamic works. And you know what? You guys have a better rapport that way.
Yep.
Obviously, as you said earlier in the podcast, obviously society's changed, rules have changed. I think men are extremely too emotional nowadays.
100%. I wouldn't even say too emotional. They don't know how to control their emotions.
Yeah. Bingo.
Yeah, it's okay to feel your emotions, but you got to know how to control that. You can't let that cloud your judgment.
Absolutely. Great way to say that. I think that it's been, and I think that women in society have kind of taken the role of men in certain things because
everything's switched.
They've had to get up and go. The man ain't in the house as much anymore. So now they got to get up and work 2 jobs and they're raising kids. You know what I mean? Boys and girls. You know,
we got to do better as men, so they ain't got to feel like they got to be superwoman all the time because that's taking them out their natural habitat anyway, their nature. So.
Absolutely,
we got to be there to be stable for them so that they can do what they need to do. So it's a give and take,
Absolutely, I believe it's a give and take, and I believe through society as well, things can get better. If there's one thing that I want to talk about right now, communication, not only with your spouse but with people, communication. And with me and you both kind of having the same background in how we were as people. As I said, the extroverted loner,
man,
it's learning communication with people.
It definitely is.
Communication. Being able to communicate not only your feelings, like you said, of controlling your emotions, but also being able to communicate what you want, what you like, what you dislike, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and being 100% transparent. I'll be real with you. I was talking to a specific female, and she bad, too.
Okay.
And I told her, I said, look, I'll be honest with you. I'm getting my health together. I'm short. I'm kind of stocky right now. I'm getting myself right. Got a little bit of belly, getting rid of it. I'm a good dude. I work hard. But my transparency and being open, if you like short dudes, cool. If you don't, cool. I was 100% transparent about everything. And my intention of saying, hey, also, too, I have 100% interest in you. I'm attracted to you. So you know what my intentions are.
100.
I'm not just in your inbox talking to you, trying to sweet talk you around to the point. No, this is exactly who I am.
This is that.
This is what I want. I'm interested in you as a person. If you don't see me that way, after communicating with me, seeing me, let me know.
That's cool. That's
but
fine.
I'm interested in you as a person. If you want a music soul child and be just friends, I'm cool with that. But I physically and emotionally find you attractive, and this is what it is. And she was like, wow, you're so open about everything. Many men. I was like, look, because I don't want nothing hitting me on the back end.
I ain't trying to.
Damn.
I don't need none of that. That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's crazy. Yes, but you feel what I'm saying?
I 100% feel what you're saying. Like, you got to let them know the plan, the playbook, like if you was a quarterback, all right, you want the trips left, post down the middle. Like, you let her know this is what I'm doing. Like she not getting no surprises or nothing. So you being straight up, honesty is the best policy. There's no way like things get misconstrued. You told her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, before we get to the motivational part of this, before we end with the motivational part, I want to tell you this, and I always say this. I want to give people their flowers. You have a great future ahead of you, brother. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
You have something that you know when you look at someone, you can say, oh, he a star. She a star. She got it. You know, with other people that I know within the wrestling business or entertainers, somebody could walk in the room and be like, oh, he got it.
Yeah,
she
100%.
got it. You got that. And you have a specific gift that now as you're understanding who Kevin Knight is as an entertainer, And once you master that, what you're already working on your crock pot, it's world takeover. Because you got it. And you're in a unique position. Because not many of
we won't
is getting there.
Right.
To the point where they have that responsibility to be next. They might get their position, but you have the opportunity to do a world takeover because there's nobody like you in what you're doing. And I want to give you your flowers too, because and a bit of motivation, because I feel like you have not only what's next to take the next mantle, but you have what's next to handle it the right way. Because when God gives you your blessings and is stolen upon you, you'll know how to handle it.
So I appreciate that.
You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know how to handle the, like you said earlier, the power.
Yeah.
When it comes, because sometimes, like Dick Gregory said something very amazing.
Dick Gregory, yeah.
It's like within your third eye as a person, your vision of seeing things. You can't escape it. You can try to, when you picked, and you him, you can try to run away from it.
You can definitely try.
But it's going to come right back to you, brother. Stop fighting it. You him.
Right.
So act like it. You know what I mean? That's what I had to learn about myself. Hey, bro, when it comes to wrestling music, you that dude.
Yeah, 100.
You one of them guys.
Yeah.
Stop running from it. Accept your position.
Yeah.
Accept when it's your time. Accept when it's time for you to be the leader. Accept when it's time for you to put others on because you're solidified. Sure. I'm going to open up to you about something. I'm going to say this live on this podcast. I struggle, and I still fight it, with obtaining my goals and feeling like I struggle and still battle this to this day, being at the level that I'm at.
Still to this day.
Why? Because I'm used to being the underdog. I'm not anymore.
Right.
In the wrestle world, I'm solidified. I'm here.
You a name.
And I grew uncomfortable with it because I'm always trying to find something. That story of Michael Jordan when he said that he made up stuff in his mind that the other team said about him when it didn't happen. He would act like somebody on the team said he wasn't good.
True.
Or somebody said that he can't score on him. It totally didn't happen.
True.
But he had to trick himself in his mind to stay in that zone, that Black Mamba mode, that Kobe mode, to be a killer. And once I got to the point where I was solidified in the wrestling business and I started becoming successful, Kevin, it kind of messed with me mentally because I'm like, what am I? I'm used to being the underdog. I'm used to being the What else is there? And then one day Swerve had a conversation with me. He's like, "Yo, bro, you solidified, bro.
Your perspective changed."
And I was like, I don't like that feeling though. I don't like solidified. I want to be doubted.
Yeah.
I want to have a reason.
Your haters.
Well, I go on Wrestle on Twitter. I'll get it every day because these cats will keep you motivated.
Hey, look.
But
some folks should have been left behind.
Absolutely.
That's all I'm saying.
Facts. You know what I mean? Some folks definitely are wasting air.
Yeah.
But what I will say is, just to open up to you about that, bro, and a bit of the motivation and what I'm talking about in the point is that's something that I'm overcoming and to stay goal orientated. And my mentor told me, he said, okay, you had 30 goals. You accomplished them. Why another 30? Challenge yourself to make another 30 goals.
Right.
Okay, you got to goal 30. You did it. Where's the other 30 at?
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Always trying to improve yourself. You can't get stagnant.
You can't get stagnant. And he's like, okay, you're solidified. So how are you going to grow when you're being solidified? How are you going to take that that's the next challenge? Okay, you had a goal. When you started wrestling music in 2014, you had a goal. Right. In 2022, you 2023, you performed to AEW. You hit all those goals in 10 years.
Right.
Where's the next 10 at? I said, you got me. You got me.
Yeah.
So, I believe that you have what it takes not only to be next, not only to take it to the next level, but to take this damn game on your back and to be 100% successful. Now, that was a little bit about me.
Man, thank you for that. First of all, that was...
You know what I mean? That's just being open and transparent with you, bro, because I've struggled with that. I've had my friends call me with counsel sessions.
Yeah.
Antoine, you tripping, bro. Teasy, you wilding.
Yeah.
And I'm just venting. I'm like, they're like, bro, you have to find that next
That killer instinct.
That killer, you have to keep it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that content is going to stop. So, way I do that is with Teasy's table. The way I do that is by having a relationship with you guys, keeping me sharp.
Right.
Keeping my pen sharp. He's like, there's nothing wrong with going to the all. He's like, you're an NBA in wrestling media and music, you're an NBA all-star.
True.
You're getting voted in every year.
Yeah.
Now, are you going to go for all-star MVP? Are you going to go for that ring? Or are you just going to be happy knowing that you're voted in every year?
True.
Fuck that.
Nah, you got to keep elevating. I'm trying to win scoring titles. I'm trying to win defensive MVPs.
Yes.
I'm trying to, new goals, just like you said.
And like I told Anthony King, and like I told Swerve, and like I tell anybody, and I'll tell you this before I have you do your motivational part. You have to be comfortable grabbing rebounds, playing defense, and passing as much as you want to score.
Right.
Some games I'm going to have to do 12 assists.
True.
Sometimes if Swerve or somebody else walk into the room, hey, bro, it's time to pass the ball to him.
Right. Sometimes
you know what I mean?
It's not your night.
Sometimes it's not your night. Sometimes you got to grab rebounds, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can still have just as much impact.
So true.
You know what I mean? Teasy, your job is to lock down the best scorer tonight.
Yeah, that's it.
It's not going to be on the stat sheet for you, but for him, he going to go 6 for 30 and only score 7 points and 2 free throws. Yep. You shut him down. We won the game.
Yep. In football, our coaches always say, play your 111, do your job. Don't try to do nobody else's job. Fill your gap, cover your dude, all of that type of stuff. Just do your thing and everything else going to take care of itself. So I apply that to real life as well. Don't try to do everything. Don't try to rush the process. And definitely get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Because if you stay inside your comfort zone, you're never going to grow. I think I saw a video that said, if you keep a snake inside of a cage, it's only going to grow to that size of the cage because it's in that environment. So you got to put yourself in, just like the snake, in different environments, bigger cages, test your strength. But if it's never tested, your confidence not going to grow. Within wrestling, your brand may not grow. So it's like you got to keep challenging yourself, keep reinventing yourself, keeping yourself on your toes, really keeping yourself uncomfortable so you know how to move. So I feel like that's the biggest thing. Always challenge yourself. And the fact that you do that is crazy. You can see the growth. I always tell you, I was listening to y'all podcasts back in 2018 before I even started wrestling, you know what I mean? And the fact that I'm here with you right now is crazy. It's so surreal. So things like this is like a reality check that maybe I am on the right path, because just like how you gave my flowers, I don't do that enough for myself. So it's like I got to always appreciate what I'm doing too while still looking to the next goal. So it's not like I'm ever taking a day off, but you sometimes do need to look back and reflect to be like, dang, I really did do something, you know what I mean? Dang, you really are Monteasy. You was on AEW, you performed in front of all these people, you a dude. I be having the moments of myself too, before a match, I be like, yeah, you Kevin Knight, you the Jet, you look good, da-da-da-da. You got to help hype yourself up, because if you don't, who else going to do it?
Absolutely. I always tell people this. Great advice. I always tell people this. I learned from this before we get in our closing segment. A motivational coach told me this. Fitness for anybody who's having any confidence issues. For anyone that's watching this on Teasy's table. He told me, and I saw this on Instagram, and I emailed him, and he gave me the blueprint of this. Every morning when you wake up, do 10 deep breaths. Chest deep breaths, breathing out of your mouth. Deep breaths from your mouth to your chest, 10 deep breaths. You look in the mirror, directly in the mirror, and you say, I love you 10 times. And try brushing your teeth with your opposite hand to help wire your brain to learn something new.
True.
And what it does is it helps trigger your brain to automatically go into something different that is out of routine.
Right.
If you're left-handed, eat with your right hand.
Right.
Something that tricks your brain to start learning something new each and every day.
True.
Those positive affirmations and learning how to exercise your brain to do something different, because we're creatures of habit. So if you trick your mind, so every morning I wake up, I say I love you in the mirror, and I'm left-handed, so I brush my teeth with my right hand.
Okay.
I do that every day.
Dang, I'm going to start trying that.
Yeah.
I'm going to try that.
It's a brain exercise.
Okay.
It helps exercise your brain, keeps you sharp.
Sure.
And you know what I mean? So here in the motivational segment, man, of Teasy's table, what I want you to do, with the camera's right here, look into the camera, and anything of any advice, motivation that you want to tell the audience, anything that of any advice you want to give the people, anything you want to say, anything motivation, any message that you want to direct to the folks here at Teasy's Table and to the world. And look in the camera and just say what you feel from the heart. Anything motivational that can help people.
Man, biggest thing I could say is believe in yourself. Believe in yourself 100%. I just gave some advice to my little cousin yesterday. And the biggest thing I told him was, like, if I was your age, 14, 15-year-old, I would tell myself, just believe in yourself. You can do it. Just like he said with the I am affirmations, you got to love yourself. Everything starts with a thought. Your thoughts turn into words, and your words line up with your actions. And when those three things line up, whatever you want to do is going to happen. So if you think negatively, you speak negatively, you're never going to get what you want. I can speak from experience. I will always never get what I want because I didn't think I deserved what I wanted. I never spoke that into existence. I never believed I can achieve what I really wanted to do. But once I started changing my mindset and started speaking positively to myself, and my actions started to reflect that, man, everything just started not flowing in easy, but it's just those things are going to come. My old coach used to always say, keep working hard, good things will happen. So just always put your daily deposits in and trust the process. Like, stay disciplined and stay consistent. I still struggle with that myself, with keeping my confidence up, keeping my mental up. It's hard nowadays. Social media is such a big thing. They try to make it seem like that's reality. It's not reality at all. So just stick to your goal, know what you want to do, and believe in yourself. When you believe in yourself, people will respect that. And everything is built off respect. So you don't got to be the most likes. You don't got to be the most loved. But when people respect you, man, everything going to start flowing your way. So that's all I can really say.
Amen, brother. Yeah. Thank you.
No, man, TD, thank you.
Thank you, brother. We family. You know what I mean? We've become very close as friends, as brothers. And I thank you for coming down to come on my podcast and my platform, yes, and to give you a game, give you a wisdom. I always try to just give you positive affirmations, brother, and telling you that I believe in you. You next up. You know what I mean? And anything that I could do to help you get to your goals, any connections I can make, whether it involves me or it doesn't, I'm gonna do it.
We'll do. That's real.
You know what I mean? Real. Because it's all about us as people helping each other grow, and you got to be willing to pass the ball. You know what I mean? And knowing that it ain't, you got to be comfortable giving assists. Thanks. You got to be comfortable playing defense, and you got to be comfortable playing grab a rebound. Sometimes you got to be the coach. Yeah. However it goes. Yeah. You know what I mean? Thank you guys. Before we end this, thank you guys for tuning in to this great interview, episode 2, youtube.com/@Teasy's Table. This is my brother, my man, Kevin Knight.
Yes, sir.
And before we end this,
what you got for him?
You guys can go on the Spotify, the iTunes, wherever you get your music at.
The title.
And download that theme from my brother, Kevin Knight. And you know what, man? I think we're going to hit him with a little treat.
Okay.
You know what we going to do?
Talk to him.
We going to drop the video.
Oh, you think it's about that time?
I think it's about that time we put the video at the end of this podcast. What you think, brother? You think we should give it to him?
I think it's been a long time running. I think they're ready to see it.
Right here, right now, we about to debut the Jet Kevin Knight theme song music video by yours truly. Right now, it is over double digits on streaming. We going for 100K. Yes, we going to do it really, really big.
Yes, sir.
Right now, here is the exclusive shot by Shorty T, edited by all the X Visuals, debuted here on the Teasy Table podcast. I want to thank you guys for showing love at Teasy's Table on all platforms. Hit me up. Show me love. Monteasy TV at gmail.com to book me.
Sir.
Where can people follow you, brother?
They can follow me at JET Fly, 2 Y's. You know, I'm just that fly on IG, Twitter. I don't be on Facebook too much, but yeah, IG, Twitter. I'm about to make the TikTok too for the younger generation. But yeah, Jet2Fly, I'm on there. Follow me. Hit me up.
Facts. And now let's tune in to Monteasy, the Jet Kevin Knight,
Yes, sir.
Too Fly Edition, the theme song right now.
Man, you know that I'm the jet. Homie, what you expect? I'm the man, it's nothing less. Man, you know that boy is next. I don't live with no regrets. Get the money, cut the check. Got the muscle, bet the flex. Got my move over step. Now who the best? I got the money in the cash. Get the jet on overlast. You know overcast. I'm fly, available. Money so relatable. Get it in the day or two. Let me just explain to you. Fly than the rest of them. Jetting standing next to him. The future cut the check for him. Said he calls a rep for him. Fly than the rest of them. Jetting standing next to him. The future cut the check for him. Said he calls a rep for them. Taking off the jet. The vision is coming for next. Jet. Taking off the jet. You headed to talk from the bench. Jet. Taking off the jet. The vision is coming for next. Yes. Taking off the jet. You haters to talk from the bench. Yes. Swagger my crew, no my passionate move. Leave the game, no acting for dudes. I am the flyest, passionate smooth. Cruise demeanor, my swagger, my moves. I am the man, the action is used. Thinking my vision, the fact of the proof. I am the leader and back in the truth. Hey, swagger my crew, no the passionate move. Leaving the game and the acting for dudes. I am the flyest, the passionate truth. Cruise demeanor, the swagger, my moves. I am the future, the action is used. Speaking my vision, the factor improves. I am the leader and back in the truth. Yeah, fly than the rest of them. Jetting standing next to him. The future cut the check for him. Said he calls a rep for him. Fly than the rest of them. Jetting standing next to him. The future cut the check for him. Said he calls a rep for them. Taking off the jet. The vision is coming for next. Jet. Taking off the jet. You headed to talk from the bench. Jet. Taking off the jet. The vision is coming for next. Yes. Taking off the jet. You haters to talk from the bench. Yes.